March 19th, 2024, in a quiet Mississippi town. Porch lights flickered on and nothing seemed unusual. But before the night ended, one family's silence would shatter forever. She was just 14, a quiet, artistic girl. People barely noticed at school. She lived with her single mother, a nurse who worked long shifts to keep things together. But on that March night, a single act would transform a home of two into a crime scene, and a small town into a place haunted by questions no one could answer. Cara Hayes grew up in a modest one-story house on Willow Lane. Neighbors said she was polite, quiet. She'd sit on the porch steps, drawing for hours. Her mother, Elena, worked double shifts at the clinic. They had love, but also exhaustion, and exhaustion can hide cracks in any home. Behind those walls, arguments had started to echo small sparks that would soon ignite something unthinkable. March 19th, a Tuesday, rain tapping the windows. At 11:42 p.m., a call reached 911, a neighbor reporting a loud pop from inside the Hayes home. When officers arrived, the kitchen light was still on, dinner half finished, doors locked from the inside, and silence, a silence so heavy it clung to the air. Investigators found no forced entry, no stolen items. Every clue pointed not to an intruder, but to someone who belonged there. The question was why. Detectives combed through school records, phone logs, and Cara's sketchbook. Inside, they found drawings that spoke of darkness, a girl drowning in noise no one else could hear. Her teachers said she'd grown distant. The counselor remembered her saying, "Once it's like nobody listens." Ordinary warning signs, the kind that look small until it's too late to notice how loud they really were. That afternoon, Cara left school early. Neighbors heard arguing around dinner time, raised voices, a slammed door. No one intervened. In towns like this, people respect privacy, even when something feels wrong. By nightfall, something broke. Whether it was fear, anger, or despair, only one person knows for sure. A single moment of impulse, and a daughter's hand reshaped the story of her own family forever. When the truth emerged, it left the community stunned. A 14-year-old facing consequences no child should face. The juvenile court stepped in, balancing accountability and hope for rehabilitation. She's not a monster. She's a kid who lost control. We can punish, or we can understand, but we can't do both well. Public opinion split fast. Some demanded harsh justice. Others called for mercy, therapy, and reform, but for Elena's family, grief was the only word that made sense. In a town that once whispered her name kindly, people now whispered it only in disbelief. Across America, teenage mental health is at a crossroads. In 2024 alone, youth crisis calls rose to record levels. Experts say early warning signs are too often ignored. Withdrawal, sudden anger, changes in sleep or appetite, online isolation. We wait for a crisis before we act. But intervention works listening, consistency, connection. That's what saves lives. Cara's story isn't just a tragedy. It's a mirror, a reflection of what happens when the world is too busy to notice a child in pain. Months later, the house on Willow Lane stands empty, grass growing tall, curtains drawn, a sketchbook found on the porch, its last page blank. Some in town hold vigils, others stay silent. But one pastor said something that stayed with me. We can't undo it, but we can choose to notice the quiet ones, because sometimes silence isn't peace, it's pain. Maybe that's where healing begins, with listening. Before it's too late, this story is fictionalized to protect identities, but its warning is painfully real. If you or someone you know feels unsafe, unheard, or at risk, reach out, talk to someone, call a helpline. Because every life, no matter how quiet, matters.